Boxing experts have shared their predictions for Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez, and their insights are electrifying. Sean Porter shared his thoughts on a potential Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight. He said Lopez can be dominant at his best, but has clear weaknesses. Stevenson, in contrast, is nearly flawless. Porter stressed that anyone facing Stevenson must handle everything he brings, showing just how precise and formidable he has become.
I gotta get your opinion on that one.
It's just it's so hard, man. On Teo's best day, he's kind of unstoppable. I don't know if it's that he gets in his own way. I don't know if it's that he doesn't adjust well. I'm really not sure what it is, but we've seen flaws in his game. We haven't seen any flaws in Shakur's game. Everyone would say his offense is his flaw because he's not offensive enough and stuff like that. Just get out of here. The kid's beautiful. When he gets in the ring, beautiful. When he gets out of the ring, that smile don't change at all, you know? And, so that being said, man, I think with Shakur, you got to be able to rough him up. You got to be able to get out of the way of what's coming after you rough him up.
Porter also noted Teofimo Lopez's explosiveness, speed, and unpredictable style, which make him dangerous. Still, he gives a slight edge to Shakur Stevenson, predicting a 60-40 advantage in his favor. This early assessment adds hype and raises anticipation for one of the most eagerly awaited matchups in recent boxing history.
And one thing that I really like about Teo is his explosiveness. He has the ability to just be on top of you and be unpredictable. If he's using that, it's gonna be a great fight. But at the moment, I would say 60-40 for Shakur.
Okay.
Adding to the pre-fight excitement, Conor Benn shared his prediction for Stevenson versus Lopez. While respecting both fighters, he slightly favors Lopez, showing the fight is far from clear-cut. Ben's perspective highlights the matchup's unpredictability and why fans and fighters alike are eager to see who will come out on top.
I'm backing Teo. I think he's in a hard fight. Well, he's not in a taxing fight. He's in a complex fight in terms of boxing fight. He's not in a war. I won't be in a brutal war, that's for sure.
Playing devil's advocate, obviously, as a journalist as well, you look at pound-for-pound rankings and Shakur is a lot higher. I know you don't like Shakur, but do you not have respect for what he could do against Teofimo Lopez? Because you've dismissed him there, Conor.
No, I don't not like Shakur. I like Shakur. I'm just insulted he thinks he can come up to my weight and feel like he can just make it easy work. Well, come up to my weight then. I don't not like him. I think he's a funny guy. I think he's funny looking as well.
Tim Bradley also offered a warning about Shakur Stevenson, saying the fight won't be easy. He highlighted Teofimo Lopez's unique style, especially his unpredictability and self-reliance in the ring, as major challenges that could test Stevenson when they face each other.
The real. It's not going to be an easy damn fight for Shakur Stevenson. Nope, it ain't going to be an easy fight. Nope. After studying freaking Lopez yesterday, man, look, that athleticism that he got, that speed that he got, the boy is a what's the name I'm looking for? What can I say? He's autonomous. That's the word I'm looking for. He's an autonomous fighter. Okay? What does that mean, autonomous fighter, Tim? Shakur is too. Just like Floyd is. Just like Crawford is. Just like Inoue is.
Tim Bradley believes all fighters eventually reach a level where their skills become instinctive. He sees Teofimo Lopez as that type, with movements guided by natural instinct and precise technique. Bradley emphasized that Stevenson will need to stay extremely sharp against such a smooth, skilled, and highly capable opponent.
Young fighters want to get to that point in their career where they become autonomous fighters. Okay? Where you don't need no damn instructions. You don't need no guidance. You know how to figure it out. Your fundamentals are so damn sound that you got skills now built on top of those fundamentals. Now it's second nature for you. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see the same patterns and rhythms and styles and so on and so forth that it's second nature. It's nothing for you. These guys can operate without any damn instructions, without being told what to do. That's how great these dudes are. Or I should say good they are. They still got to prove they great.
Showbiz the Adult also warned Teofimo Lopez to be careful against Shakur Stevenson. He believes Lopez might struggle to execute his game plan against one of the most technically skilled fighters of his generation. Showbiz stressed that Stevenson is fully prepared and ready to exploit any mistakes if Lopez underestimates him, and ready to capitalize on any mistakes if Lopez underestimates the challenge.
Because if he's trying to push the fight, if he's trying to make sure it's exciting too, it can be, because Teo's going to push it to make it exciting, which allows for Shakur to pick him apart.
Roach highlighted Lopez's speed, agility, and ring IQ, but noted his weaknesses against skilled technicians. He suggested that Stevenson's style could exploit these flaws, giving Stevenson a potential advantage in the matchup.
He a little cuckoo too, like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while.
So who do you think wins that fight between him and Teofimo Lopez if they fight?
I think Shakur wins. And I don't think it's going to be like a super tough fight either. His IQ will frustrate him.
Don't you think Teo has also good ring IQ and also is slick, fast?
I think explosive? So, but when you look at Teo's performances against guys that are just pure boxers, it's just like he almost lost to Sandor Martin. Some people thought he lost to Sandor Martin.
He did beat Loma, who's arguably at the time considered one of the best in the world.
He did, and that was a hell of a performance too.
Lamont Roach shared his prediction for Stevenson versus Lopez on the Ring Champs podcast, favoring Stevenson to win. He said Stevenson's high ring IQ and strategic approach could create major challenges that Lopez might find difficult to handle.
A hell of a performance too. So yeah, I mean, I think he's hit or miss. You got to think he got stuff. He a little cuckoo too. Like he has like a little mental lapses every once in a while. Look at the Kambosos fight. Like, that's a fight that people would never expect Kambosos to win, and he won a grueling match against him as well. So I just I don't know. I don't think he can get it done against Shakur when it comes to like because it's going to be just a skill match. I don't think he's going to try to rough Shakur up, and it's probably not going to work.
Analyst Wade Plemons offered a cautionary view on Shakur Stevenson, questioning how well he will adjust to a higher weight class. He noted that moving up affects power and rhythm, making it uncertain if Stevenson's speed, timing, and precision will remain as effective against bigger, stronger opponents. This adds intrigue and debate.
But I want to point it out. Shakur is moving up to 140. I keep looking at his hands, and I know this is a bit of a tired, played out discussion, but as the weight gets higher, I wonder if it impacts, because of the way guys can take punches at a higher weight, how will Shakur's hands hold up at 140? Genuinely, I asked that question because it feels like that's been the only thing that's really set him back, outside of, maybe being more defensively aware and less offensive at times. I do wonder, how is it going to look if Shakur's hands can't handle it at 40, right? That's one of the things I worry about, because again, they got the way the guys take punches, bigger dudes. Again, Teo's not the biggest guy at 140. It's just something to keep an eye on. It's an issue that's been persistent with Shakur.
Gary Antwain Russell added to the pre-fight buzz for Stevenson versus Lopez, saying that if Lopez fights like he did against Lomachenko, he could pose a real challenge to Stevenson. Views like his continue to fuel fan debates and heighten anticipation for one of the most eagerly awaited matchups in recent years.
It's 50-50. In order for you to participate in this sport, you gotta have a high level of confidence. I feel like both of them has a high level of confidence. Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, but styles make fights. Naturally, I think Teofimo Lopez is stronger than Shakur. Naturally, I think he has more athleticism than Shakur, and he got a good IQ on the sport itself. But Shakur, I feel like he's a more smarter fighter. He's a more technical fighter. I'm not saying that he's a square or he's just a textbook fighter, but he's seasoned, he's poised. I feel like mentally he's more mature. Like, he don't go outside of the boundaries on taking risks.
Gary highlighted Teofimo Lopez, portraying him as a naturally gifted and powerful fighter whose dedication and hard work give him a tangible edge inside the ring. While he sees the bout as roughly even, Gary leans slightly toward Lopez, especially if he brings the same intensity and determination he displayed against Lomachenko. He stressed that Lopez's mix of talent and mindset makes him a real threat to Shakur Stevenson, capable of testing even the most technically skilled opponents.
Everybody was criticizing him for, oh, he's a born fighter. He's a careful fighter. And I feel like with Teofimo Lopez, he's going to be a careful fighter. Just because he's a careful fighter doesn't mean that he isn't punctual with how he do things. I think Shakur, he got a lot of this arsenal that he can use to make him be victorious, as well as Teofimo Lopez. You know what I mean? So it's a 50-50 fight, and it depends on what fighters show up the night of the fight. Right. But if I had to give you my whole honest truth, if Teofimo Lopez show up and is ready to fight just like how he fought Lomachenko, he'll win.
Meanwhile, boxing star Claressa Shields warned Teofimo Lopez ahead of his fight with Shakur Stevenson. She highlighted the risks Lopez faces, emphasizing that he cannot underestimate Stevenson's speed, skill, and ring IQ. Shields stressed that one mistake could lead to a knockout and advised Lopez to adjust his strategy to stay competitive.
My thoughts is that's going to be a very competitive fight. I think that Teo is very athletic. He's very experienced, but Shakur is the man. Shakur is hard to beat. He's skilled. Shakur is skilled. Shakur, man, the dude got power. He can fight any style. He's a thinker. He's 5 steps ahead of you. Whatever you think you're going to do, Shakur 5 steps ahead of you. So I look forward to seeing this fight. I think it's going to be good, but I feel like Shakur is going to come out on top. He's going to win. And hopefully Teo don't have his hands down and he get caught slipping, because Shakur has been showing some power.
Focusing on Shakur Stevenson's confidence, Claressa Shields believes he has all the tools to knock out Teofimo Lopez. She has observed his growth as a fighter and feels Stevenson combines the skill and charisma of Marvin Hagler with the ability to trap and corner Lopez in ways he might not expect.
I don't know. If you want to say like a Pernell Whitaker versus a Sugar Ray winner type of deal. Like, that's how I look at, like, yeah, both athletic, both sharp, both really good on their defense, both just very explosive. Like, it's one of them fights. Like, you talking about Marvin Hagler, he used to come and get you. Like, Shakur can do that. Now, you don't know what he's gonna do for this fight. You don't know, but I know he's gonna do whatever he gotta do to win.
Who's the elite fighter out of all of them? Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson. Obviously, you put Shakur for two, but who's the best of the best? Tank. Who do you feel is the king, the emperor of all the kings?
Shakur. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm being honest with you. Like, I've been knowing Shakur since he was like 15. We went to the Olympics together, and just to see how he, you know what I'm saying? Like, he has gotten so much better.
Reflecting on the situation, Jermaine Ortiz said he was initially offered a fight with Shakur Stevenson at 135, but ended up facing Teofimo Lopez at 140. Despite the weight difference, Ortiz believes Stevenson has the skill, talent, and determination to win, and is confident he will come out on top.
There was an opportunity, like I've mentioned, I told Shakur this. I don't know if he knew. He said he didn't know about it, but I had a contract to fight him at 135 when I was with Top Rank. You know, it was like, you know, win this fight, and then after we'll give you Shakur. So I already had that. This was a couple years ago when I was with Top Rank, but then I ended up just going up to 40 and getting the Teofimo fight. But I think Shakur would win.
Jermaine Ortiz shared his prediction as debate grows over the fight. He expects a lot of action, but with more movement than usual, believing Lopez may stay cautious and hold back. Ortiz thinks the bout will be exciting, though not as explosively intense as many fans might anticipate.
I don't think it will be a very close fight. I don't think there'll be a lot of action, you know, but how I see it is Shakur will move in the beginning. You know, he's gonna stick at 1-2, the jab, and Teofimo, he's just gonna try to, like, he moves a lot, does a lot of like plate movements with his hands without really doing a lot of action. So he's gonna make it seem like he's trying to do something without really doing anything. And that's it. I don't see too much going on, but I do see a lot of like movement without fighting.
Acclaimed trainer Abel Sanchez offered his take on Lopez versus Stevenson, predicting an intense matchup. He said Lopez must start aggressively to avoid a dull fight, while Stevenson needs to maintain distance and stay alert. Sanchez highlighted that Lopez's power can change the fight instantly, making the clash potentially electrifying.
Shakur's a great talent, and Teofimo looked great in his last fight. Of course, he didn't have Shakur in front of him, but I think that for Shakur, he has to keep the fight at his distance. If he does that, I think it's a win for him. Teofimo, he's more, he wants to draw you in, he wants to counterpunch. He's gonna have to be a different guy this time. He's gonna have to attack. He's gonna have to be leading the fight, or else it's gonna be a boring fight. I don't think it'll be a boring fight, but if he sits back and waits for Shakur's going to wait for him, then it's not going to be exciting. But I think Teofimo will attack. I think Teofimo has to attack. I think Teofimo has to do what Zepeda did, except for Teofimo's a lot more talented than Zepeda was. So I think that
Sanchez also suggested the fight could end in a draw. While he expects an exciting battle, he feels Lopez's power and Stevenson's technical skill balance each other out. Neither may fully dominate, making a split or shared decision possible, adding even more intrigue to this highly anticipated matchup.
Honestly, I see a draw. I don't know why I see a draw, but I just see them both having great rounds and giving us the kind of fight that I think the public is looking for.
Two-division champion Paulie Malignaggi shared his view on the fight, telling the Schmo that while Stevenson is the favorite, Lopez should not be underestimated. He noted that Lopez still has the power, skill, and unpredictability to challenge the unbeaten Stevenson, making this matchup one of the most thrilling and must-watch fights in recent memory.
Yeah, at first glance, I mean, this is Shakur Stevenson written all over, right? This is Shakur's coming out party. This is where Shakur lives up to the expectation, but there is a tricky element to this fight as well, because Teofimo Lopez always saves his best performances for the moment when you write him off, for the moment when you're ready to say, okay, he's gone too far, now he's going to lose. And his two career wins where he's been an underdog, I think most people were picking him to lose the Taylor fight. But more so than that, the Lomachenko fight, really most people were looking for him to lose that Lomachenko fight. And I think he's probably the only guy to have beaten Lomachenko legitimately, you know? So Teofimo has a way of being at his most dangerous when he's got his back to the wall and people are counting him out.
Ali Malignaggi believes Teofimo Lopez thrives when underestimated, often outsmarting and outboxing opponents. He thinks Lopez could become one of the best pound-for-pound fighters with the right matchups. However, against Shakur Stevenson, Malignaggi sees a real challenge, making the fight highly competitive and unpredictable.
Shakur is in his prime, and he's very, very good, and I think he's possibly, the level of a fighter that could probably be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport if he would just have the right opponents in front of him to beat, because he would beat them. But this is the one guy where it's really, really tricky. It's the one guy that could really offset that is Teofimo, on the right night, of course. Shakur, I think, is a more consistent, better fighter. But Teofimo at his best sometimes looks almost unbeatable, So that's the only thing that gives you some tricky feelings about it. You feel like Shakur is ready to do this, and this is the moment, but Teofimo tends to be that guy who's the most dangerous in these moments. So it's.
If you're as excited as we are, smash that like button, subscribe to KO Trilogies for all the latest fight breakdowns, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Drop a comment below. Who do you think takes the win, Stevenson's precision or Lopez's power? Let's get the debate started.